Morning peeps, I'm back with a final thoughts video because I'm pretty much now done and dusted because by the time you see this, the next game week will be upon us and the international break will be finished. Finally. Now, eagle-eyed viewers among you will spot one change from my wildcard video, and that change is sitting there in the bottom right hand corner. King has become Stack. Now you might well wonder, peeps, you think, what's he done here? He's copied Solio. That's what you're going to say, isn't it? He's copied Solio and he's got somebody in that we don't even talk about, almost as bad as Tielemans. He's gone and got Stack in. Well, the thing is, peeps, next week I'm playing my bench boost. I'm on the wrong game week. Look, next week I'm playing my bench boost. And there are 2 weeks when Leeds have really good fixtures, and so does the Burnley keeper. And that's game week 5 and game week 8. So if I get a clean bill of health, I play my bench boost next week when they've all got good fixtures. Same again, game week 8, they've got good fixtures. So I get 2 chances of getting a full team out, which is good. Josh King, I was thinking, a lot of competition at Fulham. He could become a problem. Whereas I don't see Stack becoming a problem unless he's actually injured. But the reason I've got him, I've been doing a bit of research on him. And he's actually looking pretty good. So, Stack. He's looking for a return for international football. He wants to get back in the World Cup. He was in the under-21s and all that. He's 16. He's 26 now. He's started impressively at Leeds. He's back on the radar with the German coach. I mean, Germany have been awful in their lead-up matches. They could do with a bit of fresh blood. And he's keen, And he's made a very good start at Leeds, been one of their top players. And he's 6'5", peeps. Why are they all 6'5"? Tell me that. Tell me. We've got the Newcastle striker, we've got Ekataka, all these players from Germany. They've like been planted in a greenhouse or something, you know what I mean? Isn't it funny that like size decide they want to go back to long throws and suddenly all these 6.5 foot tall players turn up? You know what I mean? Like coincidence. Like they're suddenly there. Do you know what I mean? Crazy. Anyway, peeps, he's been doing really well. Look at this. He's been rivaling Bruno Fernandes in a key Premier League stat. He's created 10 chances already. Admittedly, not very good ones, and Leeds strikers aren't able to convert them. But he's created 10 chances already. Known for his ball-winning abilities in Germany, so we could see a few defensive contribution points. He's enjoyed the freedom of a more forward-thinking role at Leeds, and he's been at the heart of their attacking play. He's been creating chances, 10 so far. So he's like, I looked on the ICT index on the official site, and he's like 3rd for creativity out of everybody. All crazy. I didn't believe it, so I went and had a look, and it's true. He's created a lot of chances. He will hope to continue creating chances for his teammates. And I think he's got that magnificent striker, Calvert-Lewin, ahead of him this week, hasn't he? So I'm sure Calvert-Lewin is going to convert all his chances. But but anyway, for 5 million, he looks good. And you might wonder why I didn't just go and get stately home back in. I always forget his name. Dewsbury Hall. You probably wonder why I didn't get Dewsbury Hall back in. Well, he's got Liverpool in game week 5 away. So he's not so good for my bench boost. And their fixtures aren't great. And he was just going to sit on the bench anyway. I mean, most weeks Stack will be on my bench. But Leeds do have pretty good fixtures. He's playable. So I bought him in, and I think it's decent. It sounds like he's a good one of Leeds' best players. He's not going to get he's not going to lose his place. Like King has a couple of bad fixtures and he's gone, hasn't he? Basically. Whereas this isn't going to happen to Stack. So I brought him in. I've come to terms with Wirtz. For a long time I was thinking Wirtz, Semenyo, or Paquetá, and I've realised, I think, I'm not worried if Wirtz drops any more money. I've made money this wild card. I've made money on Grealish. Grealish was the only player to double rise during the international break, and I got him in, so I made 0.1 profit. And I'll tell you what, Andy, Let's Talk FPL, about 4 hours ago, pressed the wildcard button right at the end of the international break. So he's missed out on the price rises for the players that he'll want, like Senesi and a few others. Hasn't had advantage of the likes of Grealish. So this is why you've got to play it early. If you're going to play it, you have to make up your mind early and just do it. You know what I mean? So I'm very happy I did it because I got rid of Strand Larsen, who turned out not to be fit. We've had a whole load of injuries. Like Cunha was, as I thought, was still out. He was another in my team. And I did say, seeing him on an exercise bike and saying he's going to play is ridiculous, because the first thing they do when you go to a physio on a rehab is put you on an exercise bike. It has no bearing on whether you're going to be fit to play football or not. Do you know what I mean? So there's been quite a few. There's been Strand Larsen, Cunha, Nori, who people thought was going to be back and isn't back. Sarr turned out to be out, but not for too long. So if you've got Sarr and you've got a DEFCON player on your bench, use your DEFCON player. That's what they're there for, peeps. If you're going to get these DEFCON players, then you've got to use them. You know what I mean? What's the point if you're just going to transfer out a player every time they're injured? The whole point of getting these DEFCONs is that you can actually play these defenders when they've got a tougher match, because you get the 2 extra points. As for that little prick in Die, or in Jai, however you pronounce it, he did this to me last season. He was, I got him in, he got injured twice, I think. But he's done it again this season. Look, people have bought him in, injured. Some people bought him in for Cunha, and he's gone and got himself injured straight away. So, as for Palmer, I'm going to show you why now that I have kept Wirtz, and I'm happy with it. Like I said, I'm not too worried about the price now. So, the reason I'm keeping him is because my original plan in game week 6 was to do Salah to Palmer and Matata to Haaland, which would have meant I would have needed someone cheaper than Wirtz to make that happen. However, we've seen that Palmer, Maresca's already said he needs to be managed now. He's had this injury. He's been playing all summer in the Club World Cup. He can't go playing 3 times a week. He just can't do it. So he's going to be managed. And for us as managers, we haven't seen him score a goal in the league since January in open play. So I know for some reason we all bought him, didn't we, pre-season? I think it's because there was no real other options with good fixtures. And he had that great final against PSG. But if we're going to get him now, we're going to need to see real evidence that it's the Cole Palmer of old. And I don't see us getting that evidence before game week 6. I just don't see how it's going to happen. So I'm going back to another plan, which was to bring him in game week 9. So in game week 6, I don't have to worry about getting Palmer in. And I don't think I have to worry about getting Saka in either, because there's Eza, or there's Rice, or there's other players, because I think Saka, like Palmer, will play less minutes this season, because now they've got Madueke, they're going to get rotated more. It's a simple fact, I think. They are going to get rotated more, and that includes Palmer and Saka. So for 10.5 million, I just don't see the value. We've already seen Maresca today say that Enzo Fernandez is an attacking midfielder. He started the season well. I think he's better value than Palmer now. So, like I said, I'm going to have to see that Palmer's really good before I go there again. I'm not going to go there unless it's really good. And that won't be by game week 6. So, game week 6, if Salah's annoying me, even if he's not annoying me probably, I will be getting rid of him. Which is another reason I've kept Wirtz, because I will want some Liverpool cover. And I'm hoping that Wirtz is what we all thought he was. He's showing a few signs. I think obviously we're down on him because he hasn't done anything in those 3 really tough games they had at the start of the season. But, he's still integrating. But there's no point me talking about it. The proof's going to be in the pudding, basically, isn't it? So I'll just put him in there and see what happens. But this is my plan now in game week 6. Is to go for a Man United player. Double up on Man United. Because in game week 7, they're home to Sunderland. I don't know if it'll be Buemo or Cunha. I suspect Buemo, judging on what we've seen so far. So we'll have more. Obviously, we would have had a few more matches by then to assess the situation. But I like that idea. And keeping Wirtz. It says I've got 0.1. That's not true because I've actually got +6 and this reckon I only had +1. So I would have +4 after this game week 6 move. So I like this more than getting Palmer in game week 6. Like I said, it's too early for Palmer. Man United don't have Europe. And this is another reason why I didn't bother going for Semenyo, because I want somebody a bit more oomph to them. You know what I mean? So whether it's Cunha, Buemo, I don't know. But if Wirtz is still rubbish, I can always change him to somebody like Rice or, there'll be somebody. And then in game week 9, if I still want Palmer, and I have to kind of work out how I'm going to do it. I've actually done it here. How did I do that? I do not know how I did that, Pete. I must have taken Fernandez out to get Palmer in. So that's a possibility. But you can see, I'm taking out another striker somewhere. I don't know. I do not know, peeps. But anyway, that's basically about it. Like I haven't changed my wild card really, apart from replacing King with Stack, and that's final now. Unless there's kind of a late news. So talking about late news, let's have a look, see if I can find this for you. Raptor. Our old mate, Mr. Raptor. So, he's had news. He's got a source. But he can neither confirm nor deny. But he has a source that has given him the Newcastle team for tomorrow. If it's wrong, it's not Raptor's fault, like he says here, because someone's told him. I see what's his face isn't in the team. My defender in the my draft team, Shah, isn't in this team for some reason. But this is the team apparently that Newcastle are putting out tomorrow. Elanga, Barnes, Voltimade. Very nice attack there, isn't it? So if you're on a free hit, I do think Voltimade is very good. Or Voltimade, or however you pronounce it. Looks a good pick, doesn't he? Another 6'5" German. They're everywhere. Pitch. You could almost make a team out of 6'5" Germans this season, couldn't you? They're everywhere. They've all got one. I don't know how tall the Man United striker is, Sesko. I'd be surprised if he's 6'5" as well. Everyone else is. I need to get some stilts on so I can join them. Right, let's have a look here. So, apparently Barnzo, his wife had a baby yesterday. So I suspect he will play, and I also suspect he's going to want to score. And if he does, he will be getting booked, taking his shirt off and having a stupid picture on it. You can guarantee it. You can guarantee it, peeps. So that's that little bit of news there. Chelsea training starters in bibs question mark. At least Palmer is actually training, isn't he? That's one thing. Is that João Pedro? Looks like it is, doesn't it? Well, let's hope it's not the orange ones that aren't starting. So that would mean João Pedro and Palmer not playing. I tell you what, they cannot leave all those South American players out, like Caicedo. There's just too many. There's too much creativity they're going to leave on the bench. They've got to win that game against Brentford. Well, if they're going to play with Gui as a striker, they're going to need some creativity in behind him, aren't they? And I suppose they've got Neto. I don't think Garnacho will play, but you never know. But Gittins, it's not going to be strong enough, is it? Not going to be strong enough. I think they're going to need João Pedro. I really do. Also taking a big risk. Big risk. Anyway, peeps, that's about it. So people are wild carding now. We've already seen FPL Let's Talk Andy wild cards. So if you want a wild card yourself, you've seen my team, go and have a look at his chat when he does his stream, and you'll probably be hearing all about wild card players for 2 hours. And then whichever ones are at the top of review will be in his team. But I can't talk because I think he's got Mitoma actually, who is in fact the top pick in the under 7 million bracket on there. But I think Stack's pretty high as well. That's why I went to look. I saw Stack was pretty high on Solio, so I went and did a bit of research on him, and I thought, yeah, he does actually sound pretty decent. You know what I mean? Sounds pretty decent. So I've taken a chance with him. Hopefully Reinders is going to do well. Man United has still got their rubbishy keeper, or one of their rubbishy keepers. So hopefully if Haaland does go off, which I hope he doesn't, but if he does, then hopefully Reinders is involved. I've got Lacroix instead of Munoz. That's a bit of a slight concern, I guess, for me if Munoz gets lots of attacking returns. But we could see a situation where neither of them get attacking returns and Lacroix gets two CBIT points. So Anderson, Virgil van Dijk, Fernandez at City. City league goals. Apparently Bruno could be playing further forward today. I think it doesn't matter where he plays. I think he's going to get these defensive contribution points. But he could do okay. Salah obviously could do okay, as could Wirtz. So Matata. So I think it's a reasonable team. The only one who might not start is João Pedro. But I'm sure he will play some minutes. If anyone's missing, I've got Senesi first off the bench, who's obviously decent. And it's pretty good going forward. Game week 5's not fantastic. But with bench boost, it should be okay if I can get it off, this bench boost. I've got Reinders away at Arsenal, which isn't terrific, is it really? João Pedro away at Man United. Jokeres playing Man City. So there's a few that haven't got terrific fixtures. But it's probably the same for everybody. And then we got this big thing in game week 6 where it's either going to be a free hit or that double switch to Haaland. Anyway, peeps, that's about it now. So I'll talk to you all later anyway. Have a great game week, and I'll see you all tomorrow after the game, or I think during the Chelsea match. I'm doing the review What's It with Gary on the pubcast with, I think, D Units there as well. So I'd rather not be on it, I think. Yeah, I'd rather be watching Chelsea, you know. Maybe I can just come on at half time and have a rant. Because I want to keep my eye on that game. So, you know, how much attention I'll be giving the show when Chelsea won. You might hear a bit of swearing going on, I think. I think it's going to be a difficult match for Chelsea, that one. Anyway, peeps, I'll talk to you all later. So like and subscribe, and cheers for now then, peeps.